well said. That's exactly what's going to happen. We are, those of us who understand the reality behind 9/11 and the other so-called terror events, now if the Congress again refuses to go along with what the banksters want, we are at a greater risk of another terror attack. Something, whether it's a bank holiday, whether it's another staged event, we are certainly, as a public, I think, going to be taken to the woodshed for not going along with these criminals, and that's what most of them are.
Well, it's a anything goes. I mean, let's face it. Exactly. I mean, they'll try anything. And as we're looking at this, by the way, it's very clear to us. The Wall Street gang has taken over Washington. It's been a big heist. There's no question about it. You look at the facts. I mean, with Henry Paulson from Goldman Sachs, it's been reported that the only person outside the government and the Federal Reserve that sat in on the meetings of the takeover of AIG was Blankfein from Goldman Sachs. And it's reported that Goldman Sachs is holding about $20 billion worth of bad AIG paper. So what we have now is you have now the gang, and then you have the different families. You have the Goldman Sachs family, they're in control of Washington. You have the J.P. Morgan family, they're in control of Wall Street. And what they're doing with this these families is now you have a couple of large families controlling all of America's finances.
All of them, basically, all those that count. Now, what we have here is a situation that is really unprecedented in our lifetime. Maybe in American history, if you look at the totality of the amount of money involved and the amount of, what they call investment instruments out there, it's extraordinary. So I think some Americans are to the point now where they say, let it come down. Bring it down, and let's rebuild something fair and equitable. Let's take the power away from the Fed. It's time to break the Fed. Ron Paul wants to get rid of it, as you know. Many others do. We're long overdue to remove this cancer from the body of America. Is it time to let it crash and burn, or to actually, help it crash and burn and then rebuild it? Or will these people, in their desperation to remain in power, in control, and to keep us subjugated, really go into the bottom of the barrel and pull out some very ugly things? These are all the potentials that are on the table.
Oh, anything goes. I mean, I agree. No, we say let it fall. Let it fail. Who's too big to fail? The rest of us, as we mentioned, are too small to save. I mean, what's bad for Wall Street can be great for Main Street, because you have these too big to fails control everything. What do we have a choice between, McDonald's and Burger King, Lowe's and Home Depot? I mean, they've allowed all these huge companies, one after another, to monopolize Main Street. Well, that's why all the main streets are dead, because of these huge malls, and all the inhabitants of them are large corporations that get all of the breaks. So now with this model breaking down, there's an opportunity for Main Street to come back.
Well, it would be wonderful. A lot of the big box stores, of course, come into communities. We know the routine and promise jobs, promise revenue, promise all kinds of things, and often buy off communities by building a softball complex or a sports facility, something. They'll do this. And what happens in the end is, as Gerald is saying, and as you all know, and that's Main Street shrivels up and dies. And that was our real heritage. That was really the strength of our society. Back in just a minute with Gerald Celente. Glad you're along tonight.